Hello, all you rugged warriors in Webtown, and welcome to an Indie Wednesday on Crypto Comics. Today, my Crypto Knights, we raise our mighty spears and sharpen broadswords as we set off into a world of fantasy for a battle against scaly beasts seeking supple flesh to enslave in Guardians of Erloth by Chael Roberts and Ryan Best. With a tightly paced, ever-evolving story and above-average artwork for an indie comic, Guardians of Erloth was a pleasant surprise for yours truly, making it a standout amongst independently published comics in the fantasy genre. Let me give you a little preview of the opening act. The Kingdom of Cass, the center of the Attican Empire. 7, 6, you're counting too fast. 5, 4, 3. For centuries, the Kingdom of Cass has staved off an encroaching darkness. It has survived in the wilds of the Attican wilderness. 2, 1. As well as its neighboring kingdoms and their denizens.
Sire, what shall be done?
Let me go, lizard breath!
The ape-man is full of venoms.
Holds, we ought to take these two back.
Silence, little ones.
There has been one constant for kings in Erloth, as well as for the kings of Cass. The Guardians of Erloth have always maintained the lines of succession. Back, you leather-ridden bug-eaters. Samira, Rhea, feast. Cassius, Anaya, down, now. Protect the prince, protect the princess. Back to where you came from, demon spawn. The Kingdom of Cass is home to one of the fiercest of Erloth's guardians. Form a perimeter. We make our exit. We must get the younglings back to Nazim. For the king! Begone, Leatherneck! You spineless scum! Tell your warlord that this sneak attack will be dealt with swiftly and with justice. You no longer have dominion in these jungles. Tell him the leopard cub has his spots. Let him know that the last leopard king has returned. Cassius, Anaya, come. We must leave here at once. They're retreating for now, but the lizard men are quick to regroup.
Well, what are they? Where did they come from? Why did they attack us?
Come. The lizard men are dangerous, and many. We must leave quickly. I'll explain everything when we've reached safety. Come, child. Be quick. We must reach Nazim before the moon reaches its zenith. Nazim, one among many strongholds belonging to the Kingdom of Cass.
Caius? You've been gone for hours.
Move aside, witch. Lizard men were on the hunt tonight.
The king will not be pleased. You are once again faltering in your duties.
I'm fulfilling my duties. Yet you stand here, awaiting me, with an accusing tone.
I do not question your loyalty, nor your knack for finding trouble. I question your ability to protect the royal line of Cass.
I've served the king longer than you've been alive, girl. I'll continue doing so long after you're gone.
We shall see. You have far outlived your usefulness.
I like to imagine it as a blaxploitation fantasy film because they don't make those, you know. That's what I like. Things we haven't seen before. So, I like to portray her as if she's Pam Grier. And I like to pretend he's played by Fred Williamson or Jim Brown.
Later that night. Don't you ever sleep?
I'm making sure the king's heirs are safe. I see some habits never die.
Just a little nightcap. You could use one yourself. Might warm that cold interior of yours.
If something happens to those children, you'll need a little more than a nightcap.
The only way something happens to those children is over my dead body.
What happened to your pets?
Rhea and Samira are doing what only they can do. Prowling the shadows, looking for threats. Maybe they're looking in the wrong direction.
I remember when you drank a little less and cared a little more.
I remember when you were so cold. You were fun. Who says I care less? Maybe I'm just a little wiser.
Doubtful. The one thing you focus on these days is finding trouble.
And making sure that trouble stays far away from the king.
Your presumptuous attitude is sickening. Maybe that's the real trouble.
It only serves to match your petulance. Who's ready for story time? What is this? Story time's usually the highlight of the evening.
My dear Caius, so predictable. always the dope, for as long as I've known you. Throw a little trouble your way, and you forget where the real threat lies, absorbed with the need to fix the past. When can we see Mother? Why were they trying to kill us?
No need to be afraid any longer.
Who's the Leopard King? Is Father the Leopard King? No, you dolt. Father is the Sun King of Cass.
Where'd you learn that word?
I have an idea. Who's the Leopard King? Is it Samira?
No, I told you before. Samira's a girl. I'll tell you of the Leopard King. It's a long tale, filled with battles and evil creatures. I'm not sure if you're up for it.
Please!
80 years ago, in a kingdom called Pardus, you have given me a strong boy. He shall make a fitting heir to my throne.
He has your strength in my eyes. I shall name him Caius.
For my father, it is fitting.
And of course, the prince grew up, and then, trouble came, and you're going to have to check out the book if you want to know more. As you can see, it flows nicely, leaving no time for nonsense as Chael Roberts' writing sticks straight to the plot, managing to provide both the story going forward and a look at the origin of our main hero, Caius. The one weak point to Chael's writing is actually very minor and the easiest thing to correct. Just read all of your dialogue out loud. If it doesn't roll off the tongue like something you'd say in real life, fix it up. With Chael's writing, this is about the easiest thing to correct because it's only instances where he could have used a contraction like we do when speaking in real life. For example, no one says, I am going to the store, or I will pick up some milk. We say, I'm going to the store, and I'll pick up some milk. I know this is a minor thing, but it did take me out of the story, albeit briefly, yet frequently. Other than that, Chael clearly knows how to tell a story, and how to kill his darling so that it moves at a rapid pace, keeping the reader thoroughly engaged. Chael's actually quite good at introducing characters naturally, and then moving on to the next scene without lingering, with there being no wasted page space caused by the writer amusing himself, which we can see in quite a few modern comics from the big two. Ryan Best's artwork is at a level where he should be getting hired by the major publishers, and his choice of a color palette set Guardians of Erloth apart from other fantasy comics, in my opinion, which was really refreshing because it added a visual layer of depth to the world of Erloth, causing me to imagine this being an ancient tale from Sundaland, the vast stretch of land that once existed on our own Earth, to the north of Australia, below the Indian subcontinent, until a flood of Nowakian proportions swept over it forevermore. For those of you interested in the fantasy genre, perhaps the best part of Guardians of Erloth is that it has actually continued beyond this Volume 1. Part 2 of Volume 3 was successfully funded on Indiegogo in September of 2022, which makes me think that the next chapter of Guardians of Erloth should be right around the corner, as Chael's Comics du Nord imprint seems to be publishing about 1 volume per year. I wish I could tell you where to get a copy, but they only seem to be available through Indiegogo campaigns. Though there is a Comics du Nord Twitter account and YouTube account, but the YouTube seems to be rather inactive as a video has not been uploaded in over a year. And this is a problem that I sometimes see with indie publishers, is that they won't have a way for you to read the comic. They will get the comic book successfully funded through a crowdfunding platform like Indiegogo or Kickstarter, and that was your only opportunity to get it, and there's nowhere you can buy it. Like, they don't even put it on Amazon for resale and to pick up new readers to, increase the sales of the next campaign. It's kind of bizarre, and you should do that, especially with a comic that's this good. So with that being said, if you need to whet your appetite for a great sword and sorcery story after this phenomenal review of Guardians of Erloth, I'd recommend you get your eyes on The Young Barbarians by yours truly. Available in both digital and print forms on Amazon and at enterthelostlibrary.com. Support your boy Crypto and pick up a book today. If you like this video, slap that thumbs up, then share it with a friend. If you're new, subscribe. Hit that bell, and someone you don't know will die. But most importantly, be on the lookout for the next totally awesome comic book review from your main man, right here at Crypto Comics.
When their parents are taken captive by a wicked necromancer and his sinister crocodile men, a pack of children from the peaceful land of Aquania must journey across their continent, meeting strange beings and confronting untold terrors in their quest to rescue their families from a witch queen eager to raise a demon lord from his fiery abode. The Young Barbarians, written by your boy Crypto, is available now in both digital and print form on Amazon.com. published by the fine folks at the Lost Library.